Hey everybody, welcome to our Diesel Dreamers team call. Today is January 30th, 2017, and we are right at the cusp of February. So going into month 2 of 2017, and you guys are kicking butt so far, and I want to continue the momentum. So we're going to do a team call on objections and how to get over them, because we all get them every single day. It's part of the process, and a lot of us aren't used to it, especially at this type of I guess frequency. If you're doing your job and you're inviting people and you're putting yourself out there, you are going to encounter objections and obstacles, but there's a way to overcome them. There's a way to kind of figure out how to talk to people the right ways and just learn from what works for you, what doesn't work for you, fail forward, and just keep on with that process. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch a video together from Engle, who's a super kick-ass rock star. I think I'm in the wrong colon. Thing. So definitely get your notes out. I mean your notes, your your notebooks out, and a piece of paper or a pen. I can't speak today. See, I'm totally off my rocker because I was not prepared to be doing this call. But okay, can you guys see YouTube now? Thumbs up to see YouTube. Perfect. Okay. Shut up and let Bonnie talk.
I want you guys to understand some stuff about objections because everyone gets them. I get them. I had a coach the other day tell me that I didn't understand because I don't get objections at any time. They're pushing their bodies off. They're pushing their health off. This is the time when the majority of Americans gain about 10 to 15 pounds, and it just starts to snowball that weight gain in their lives. So this is when we have to work our hardest to get people to understand that the trend of obesity starts now. And if you stay consistent during this time, that trickle and rainfall of people who are seeing you do that during this difficult time will come running to you in January. But now we're going to concentrate on those objections that you're getting right now, how to combat them right away. But I need you to understand that objections are normal, okay? They're bound to happen. Anytime you offer someone an opportunity or tell someone that they can get healthy and fit a different way than what they think is conventional, they're automatically going to say, well, that wouldn't work because of this, or I've been told this all my life, so I can't do that, or, I've been told the gym works really well and I have a membership, so I'm just going to start going there. That's where we come in with how to combat these objections. It's human nature. When something scares someone, when someone thinks something is intimidating, it's human nature for us to place a roadblock in front of ourselves. So if I hadn't worked out in 6 months and I saw this girl that I had been following posting all this stuff about how she always gets her workout in and she always manages to eat right and she cut out coffee and she cut out all this stuff, I would probably start to loathe that girl a little bit, right? Because I didn't have that self-control, and I didn't have, I don't know why that's doing that, and I didn't have that, extra push to do that. So it's human nature for me to push it off and say, well, I can't do what she's doing because I have a full-time job, and I'm out of my house 8 hours a day. So we give ourselves those excuses, right? We say, it's okay that you're not doing that because of A, B, and C. It's a defense mechanism. So I see a ton of people on our team page saying, oh my gosh, I've invited so many people, and they messaged me and said they were excited, and then they didn't answer, right? How many people has that happened to? Raise your hand. It's happened to me all the time. They don't answer because it's a defense mechanism. They either feel awkward to tell you that, they're living paycheck to paycheck right now. They feel awkward to tell you that they're embarrassed. They feel like they can't get through a challenge group. They don't know exactly what you mean by a challenge group. I don't know why it is highlighting these words weirdly like that. That is so strange. Ignore that. That's an effect that I have no idea why it's happening. Know that it's something that everyone gets. I mentioned earlier that someone told me the other day that I don't get objections. I get objections all day long. They just don't faze me because, as number 6 says, I know that an objection has nothing to do with me, and more importantly, an objection is not a no. An objection is, tell me the reason why I can do this. Tell me the reason why this objection is not true. It is never a no. It is a not right now. An objection is a learning experience, right? So if you're on this call and you made time to get on and you made time to invest in your business, you're in this for the long haul, just like me. So an objection is a chance for you as a growing leader to take that answer and turn it into a yes. Help them see how they can do that and then communicate that to your team. So that later on down the line, when one of your team members comes to you and says, man, I just keep getting this one objection, you can say, hey, guess what? I've learned from that experience and I can tell you exactly what to say and exactly how to combat it. So look at it as I'm a leader in a learning process. And these objections are helping me become a stronger coach. You know, I really think one of the reasons I became such a strong coach was because I wasn't afraid to get those objections. I wasn't afraid for people to say no because I could learn from it and fail forward. 8, an objection is not something to give up over. When you get an objection, the worst thing that you can do is shrink back and say, okay, well, I got an objection, so no one else is going to want to join my challenge group or get healthy and fit with me, so I'm just not going to try. That is you giving yourself an objection, right? And placing that limiting belief on yourself just because you got rejected once. Everything in human nature goes off of these two things. It goes off of the fear of rejection and the fear of not being good enough and the fear of failure, right? Every decision you make, every invite you send or don't send comes from those 3 human actions. You're either fearful that you'll fail, fearful that you'll get rejected, or fearful that you're not good enough. But all of that is rubbish, okay? Everybody gets these. They're totally normal. It's not something to give up on. Always, it's just an objection. So this is very important. Oftentimes, I see newer coaches reflect those objections on their self or their ability to become a coach. If I stopped at every objection I got in the beginning, I wouldn't have gotten past day 2, right? An objection has nothing to do with the way you're posting, the way you're talking, the way you are as a coach. It has everything to do with that person and the point of life that they're at, right? So I challenge you guys when you get an objection to remove yourself from the situation and say, this has no bearing on what kind of coach I am. Everyone gets objections. This just gives me a little bit more of a challenge, right? So number 10, it is a challenge. Look at it as just that. So many of you thrive under a short time constraint. If I tell you, oh my gosh, we have a day to hit Success Club, guarantee you 20 of you will hit it in 2 hours. But if we have a month to hit it, everyone's like, oh, la-di-da, I'll just message them tomorrow. If you guys look at objections as more of a time crunch challenge, imagine how much further your business would go if you put the same effort forward that you do in those last 2 hours of the month to hit Success Club in your entire month. Mind blown. You guys have to look at it like that. When you get an objection, look at it as a challenge. Okay, how can I help this person turn this around and see that that's just a limiting belief in this next hour? And go to combating that objection. Okay, so number 1, I don't have the money. This is the number 1 objection that I get, the number 1 objection that I see everyone posting about in the team page. The number 1 thing that I felt when I first came across coaching and Shakeology and the meal plans and the programs, right? Here are 5 ways that I combat that. And again, I'll post these slides on the team page, so don't feel like you have to screenshot or scramble to write them down. Again, I don't know what that red and yellow thing is on the screen. Number 1, break. Are you guys doing this? Is that what's happening here? Hold on a second. I don't know what is happening. I was going to share this recording with people, but I guess I'm not going to do that now. Okay, if you guys could not edit on here, that'd be great. Okay. Number 1, break down the costs for them. This is what I normally say when they say that. Well, you are in luck. This month, the program is on super special. It's $140 total for a sale bundle that would include the workout program, meal plans, portion control containers, on-demand access for free for 30 days, the challenge group, one-on-one support with me, typically $119. Shakeology, our superfood shake that is a part of the program for 30 days, Typically $130 for first-time buyers, and all signed up for your business for free, usually $40. So it's a huge deal and huge savings. When you itemize something like that out for people, what it does is, people love sales. Why do you think all the time there's this Ashley Home Furniture in my town that literally every time I drive past it, they're having a blowout closing sale, right? And I know for a fact that everything's the same price all the time. I know for a fact that the last week's sale is no different than this week's sale. But there's something in my brain that says, well, maybe you should just walk in and check, because if it's a blowout sale, then there's probably a good deal in there. There's something about human nature. People cannot resist a sale, right? When you break it down for them like that and itemize it out and show them what they're saving, a little thing dings in their head. Why do you think people spend so much time couponing and all that stuff? Because savings, people love it. You have to itemize it out for people and show them that, look, this is what things typically cost, and this is what the challenge pack is getting you. Not to mention a six-figure potential business for free with just products, right? And I always make sure at the tail end of that, I say to them, even if you love the program, drink all of your shakes, you can send it back for a 30-day money-back guarantee and no questions asked. Cancellations for free. Number 2, sounds great, but I don't have the money right now. So I will typically say something like this. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same exact way when I first heard about coaching and the programs. Don't know if you've read my story, but my husband and I didn't have a dime to rub together. But I believed in the product because we knew of Beachbody. So I made a ton of sacrifices at first. Notice I'm giving them a solution to their money problem. Cut down on our grocery bill, no more out-of-the-house purchases like Starbucks, gas stations, energy drinks, etc. And in my first month, I earned the cost of my challenge pack back and profited $400. Now, this might not be your story. You have to come up with your own story. Do not use mine. And then it went up from there. I know it's scary, trust me, but sometimes you have to do something out of your comfort zone to get new results. Don't mind the typos in this slide. So what this is doing is a couple things. It's relating back to my story and showing them that where I am now wasn't always where I was. I was in a very bad financial situation. And trust me, I know that all of us on this call had to make some type of sacrifice to get our challenge back. And the people who can't afford the challenge pack can't afford not to have this opportunity. That's what I'm telling you. So don't ever feel bad when you're giving them the response to these objections, because you're giving them a gift. They cannot afford not to do this. It is an earning opportunity, and sometimes you have to remind them of that. Number 3, give them the worst case scenario. Also, when I first started, I gave myself and my hubby a time limit. And I said, okay, if it doesn't work out in 3 months, then I will cancel my account free of charge, letting them know that there's no cancellation fee without them asking. And the worst thing that will have happened is I got a good lifelong workout to keep, and I tried a new superfood shake and got a little healthier. Not the worst thing, haha. So oftentimes people think of all these worst case scenarios. They come up with these big monsters in their head. They Google things of, people who never put the work into the company, so it obviously didn't work out for them, and they see bad reviews. And they come up with these things where they're going to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars of their money when really that's not the case. The worst thing is that you bought a workout and drank a shake and it didn't work for you. That's not a worst case scenario. So if you itemize it out for them, they can see it right there and say, okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. That's the worst thing that can happen, not that bad. Number 4, the 30-day money-back guarantee. I typically say, oh, trust me, I get it. Don't know if you've seen my story. Again, reminding them that I'm not where I always would be, because Beachbody coaching changed that. But my husband and I were in about $200,000 of defaulted debt on top of our living expenses. I understand money being tight more than anything, but I also hit a breaking point. And I knew it all started with my fitness. I had to do something, and my coach told me about the 30-day money-back guarantee. Even if you drink the whole bag and love the workout, you can return it within 30 days and get your money back. That's how much we believe in our products. Letting them know that we're a good and honest company. And even if they want to take advantage of us, they can go ahead and do that. But we believe in our products so much, and we know that they'll like it. Number 5, remind them that it's priorities, and also give a little comparison. Yeah, a lot of people think it's a high cost up front, but actually it saved me money. I was paying so many useless fees to the gym I barely used for no support. And because I didn't care about those tiny fees coming out, I never really committed. But when I invested my $140 of my hard-earned dollars, you bet your butt I was going to give it my all for 30 days, and I and this can be the answer to that. Also, everyone has that flex room if they make a couple, adjustments here and there. Everyone does it for Christmas presents, so we just have to help them see that everyone should be doing that for health and fitness. Okay, the second one, I don't have the time. This is the second most common one that I get. I hear people all the time say, I'm so busy. People tend to wear that like a badge of honor. If you're not busy, then you're not a hard worker. If you're not busy, then your life doesn't matter. A lot of people just say that as kind of a reflex. So the number one thing I do is relate my story. And I say, oh my gosh, I felt the exact same way. When I first started, I was actually working 3 jobs, personal training at 2 different gyms and coaching gymnastics and cheerleading. I would leave the house around 4 a.m. and not get back until 10 p.m. at night. But I knew this had to work. So I worked around my day at first. All the time where I was watching my favorite show or sitting on the couch, I simply did it with my computer in hand or got my workout done instead. Then, slowly but surely, it actually allowed me to cut one job out at a time. So funnily enough, cutting my time down at first ended up giving me more time. And this is letting them know that, listen, I wasn't always just sitting around the house with 12 hours at a time to do Beachbody coaching. I was a very busy person trying to make ends meet. I understand where they are, and I'm giving them a solution. But I'm also letting them know that everyone is most likely not Tasmanian deviling all day long, like literally running around like a cartoon character with no downtime. You have downtime at work, you have a lunch hour, and if you were like me and you're driving on your lunch hour or you're going between job and that job or taking your dog to the vet or whatever you are, that's an unfortunate situation, but that's a very small percentage of the population who are doing that. A lot of people say they don't have time, but really they just want to carve that time out to sit on the couch or relax with their kids or whatever it is. Everyone has that time, you just have to help them see it. Number 2, we have a training for that. This is such a common misconception that it takes a ton of time to build a business / get a workout in. We have tons of coaches and challengers on the team that work full-time jobs, are moms of 4 or 5 kids with a spouse gone in the military. We have documents on how to have your most effective quote-unquote power hour. Plus, I doubt you are Tasmanian deviling it all day. Ha ha. We have so many women who are examples of how they choose their time. And for me, I would much rather spend that extra hour doing something good for my family rather than surfing the web, numbing my brain. You know what I mean? And I think that there's a lot of people who are scared to say this stuff, right? We're scared to offend, or we're scared to point a finger, or we're scared to point out something that could be an excuse. People don't come to you for placating. People don't come to you to say, you're right, I'm so sorry, you don't have any time, I'm going to go away now. People come to you for a solution, so give it to them. Sometimes that little tiny bit of tough love with a smiley face and a ha-ha at the end of it is just what people need to change their lives. Don't underestimate that. Number 3, our workouts are designed for that. Do you think you have 30 minutes a day, question mark? That's all you really need for an effective workout. I know, crazy. I used to spend hours at the gym working on machines that looked crazy, but these at-home workouts actually saved me time. Driving to the gym, getting there, putting my bag away, weighing myself, LOL. This way, it's on my time by my rules. So if I had a crazy day at work, my DVD player doesn't close / open at a certain time, right? Such a clear thing that we think everyone knows and we think everyone assumes about our at-home workout programs, but they don't. They don't view it as a time saver. They view it as money going out, and they view it as just another thing that they're not going to stick to. So you have to help them see that that's actually the point of the program. Okay, the third most common one, do I have to get the shake? I run across so many people that are like, yeah, know the workouts, heard of P90X, heard of Insanity, but I'm not really sure about that superfood shake, Shakeology. I've heard a couple different reviews, don't really know about it. That's actually how I was in the beginning. Because money was so tight for Andrew and I had no intentions of buying Shakeology at all. I literally thought, we have our GNC shake that Andrew uses. I don't typically drink a shake, so I don't need one. So for me, it was an extra $130 that I didn't need to be spending until I heard these few things, and I use these all the time. And just a reminder, you guys, these are things I copied and pasted these things from conversations that I've had. So I use all of these things in regular conversations. And if you notice, there's a bunch of typos and everything, and I purposefully didn't change it because I'm not a perfectionist, okay? A lot of people have a different view on that, but I'm not a perfectionist in coaching. I'm not a perfectionist in working out or in eating right. I slip up. In posts, I make typos, and I want to attract people that are okay with that, because if I attract a perfectionist that gets offended by that, then we won't jive. So that's why I always say to you guys, done is better than perfect. In all of my messages, I just make sure it's done. Of course, I try not to make typos, but I always try to live by that done is better than perfect. Number one, remind them of the integrity factor if you're talking to someone about coaching. I typically say, well, if you are going to build a successful business, yes, you actually do. How do you talk to people about a shake? Tell them it's the best thing for them. Recommend it to others if you yourself don't know and love it. This is how we keep our integrity intact as coaches. I would never recommend a movie I hadn't seen, would you? This reminds people that you can't just sign up for this company and expect to have it be a get-rich-quick scheme. You have to be living the lifestyle that we're giving to people. Our number one priority is help people live more healthy, fulfilling lives, right? How could I possibly help you guys drink your shake, do your personal development, and get your workout in if I wasn't doing that every day? And if you remind people of that, they say, oh, yeah, you're right, you're totally right. It's an integrity thing. So you just have to help them, give them that little ding of a reminder. Number two, the best results. Typically, I say, if you get someone who is a challenger who says, well, I already have this program, but I don't really want those shakes, can I join your group anyway? I always require a program and Shakeology to join my groups, always. And this is what I say when they combat it. Well, it's part of the program, and it's the only way I can guarantee you results if you agree to the shake as well. Many people don't know that the biggest part of fitness and weight loss is what you put into your body and the changes your body goes through while you are working out. The best results happen when you do both. Fuel your body properly and work out. And since I can't come to your house and make sure you are eating all your containers, at least I know once a day you are getting these nutrients. Think about it. You wouldn't brush half your teeth and expect the same results as someone who brushes their whole mouth, Relate it to an analogy that they can understand, an analogy from everyday life. You wouldn't walk into a gym and pay for a trainer and only do half of what they're telling you. No, because you paid for that. Number three, it's the best deal. Make them see that the challenge pack is the best deal. I hate when I have people who sign up with the program, end up wanting Shakeology, and then spend more money on it. It makes me so frustrated for them because I told them about it. So I say, in fact, it's a way better deal with Shakeology. And I hate to see people talk themselves out of it because I know every penny counts. I can almost tell you, in fact, you will want to get Shakeology after going through the challenge and seeing everyone else's results. And the workout itself, the Deluxe program, is $119 for customers. I'm talking about the 21-day fix and all of these things, you guys. Shakeology alone is $130 for customers, 25% off for coaches. But you get the entire program, challenge group, containers, meal plans, etc. for only $10 more with the challenge pack. So it's basically a no-brainer. Help them see that. Number four, but I'm breastfeeding pregnant. This one comes up a lot in our group. And I wanted to remind you guys that we are not doctors. We are not professionals. The number one thing that you say to people is definitely always consult your doctor before trying something new when you're pregnant or nursing or anything. But I always add, we have tons of coaches on the team who I know have used it before, during, and after pregnancy. That's in no way saying that it's okay. Definitely consult your doctor, just like you would if you were going to get some other type of supplement when you were pregnant. Who has ever gotten, well, I wouldn't be a good coach? And there's a myriad of things that people say, right? So number one, I wouldn't be a good coach because I'm not at my goal weight. And I typically say, actually, that's way better. Coaching is about showing people that you are a normal, everyday person who is on a journey to become fitter, healthier, and better, not that you are perfect. No one relates to perfection. People relate way more to a journey not already being there. It's a very common misconception. And this is so true. So I didn't have a huge outward transformation. My transformation with Beachbody was much more internal and anxiety and mental. So in the beginning, I got a lot of pushback from a lot of people because I didn't have a transformation. And it wasn't until I started showcasing that internal struggle and that internal transformation that people started really latching on. Because people don't relate to a perfect body type or a perfect mental clarity person or a perfect someone who has it all together. They relate to mess. They relate to turning that into a message and showing everyone and taking that on a journey together. So being at your goal weight has no bearing on it, right? Number two, I'm not a salesperson. I typically say, great, Neither am I. I would hate it if this was sales. There are no sales minimums or quotas to fill. We have tons of trainings on how not to be salesy, sharing your 5 things, sharing about you, who you are, sharing yourself through the products, and not being a Beachbody billboard. We are a company based on peer-to-peer experience, just like the rest of the world today. We share our experiences with others and hope to inspire them to get started on what has helped us. We don't sell. If you've noticed, if you're new to the team, we're very different from other network marketing companies who just kind of post sales and stock Beachbody photos. We are very much showing yourself, showing your personality, showing your feelings, and that makes us not salespeople. Number 3, I don't have a big market and I'm from a small town. I get this all the time. And I think it's because people look at my profile and they see, all the followers and all the likes and they say, well, geez, I'm not anything like that. Everyone started somewhere. When I first started coaching, I had 200 friends on Facebook. I had just moved to California where I didn't know a single soul. None of my challengers came from my hometown. Everyone came from social media that I built from scratch. So I typically say this, that has nothing to do with it. We are entirely online based. You could be anywhere in the world and work this business. Fitness and health is the biggest industry in America, and so is convenience. We bring the two together in your home with one solution. We have tons of trainings on how to reach the 3 billion people in America who are looking for that solution. All of them being on social media, smiley face. When I first started, I had about 200 friends on Facebook, rarely talked to them, and barely posted. This lets them know, again, that you are working from the same place that they are. You've done it, right? So the number 1 thing about success is find someone who has the type of success that you want and emulate exactly what they have done. So you're showing to your potentials, I have done this. Come with me. I will show you how. Okay. Someone read your message, committed, and then they went away and didn't answer you. You can see that they read the message and they quote unquote ghosted, what everyone likes to say, or are ignoring you. This is the ultimate defense mechanism. People they feel awkward telling you that they don't have the money or that they don't think they'd be a good fit. It has nothing to do with you or what you're posting or what you're saying or the fact that you invited them. So these are the 5 ways that I combat this because it's very common. And 9 times out of 10, they all come back around. It just takes some time. This business is very time sensitive. If you contact someone and it's not the right time of their life, they will 9 times out of 10 ignore you and then come back to you 5 months down the road and say, okay, I'm ready. I've been following you. I'm ready to sign on. There are 62 people on this call, and I can guarantee you 40 of them have done that to me. So you have to keep posting and being consistent. But here's a couple ways to combat that. So number 1, asking for feedback. Hey girl, I see you read my messages and didn't respond. You were so excited. I'm so sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't talk to me about your doubts about the program. That is never my intention. I would love to get you started, but totally understand if it's not for everyone. I would love some feedback though. If you could let me know how I could have explained it better or answered your questions more clearly, I would love to know. I talk to people all day long about making this decision, so I would love to communicate it better. Thanks, doll. This does a couple things. It takes the pressure off of that person, number 1, right? So in this message, I'm saying, cool, not for you, I get it. If you could just let me know why, totally cool, I'll move on. It would just help me. Right? So I'm no longer reaching out to them to have them be a part of the challenge. This does a couple things. Number 1, it takes the pressure off. Number 2, they tell you their objection then. So 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, hey, so sorry, life got busy. I just don't think I have enough time to dedicate right now. Ding, 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 that's your in. Now is your chance to answer that because you got them to answer you back. So never be afraid to withdraw that and say, hey, totally get it, not for you, not for everybody, but just let me know one way or the other. I'd love to get better at what I do. This works like a charm. Number 2, relate their why. Hey, love, so you haven't signed up yet. Just wondering if you knew I was holding a spot for you. I was so inspired by the way that you wanted to build this business for your little ones while still spending time by their side every day. That is a mission a ton of my coaches are working towards, so that spot is still there for you if you want it. So a lot of people get scared, right? They say, yeah, send me the link. So excited. And then they stew on it. And then they say, oh my gosh, what am I doing? This is crazy. I never heard of a Beachbody coach on social media. This isn't conventional. I have to go to my job. I don't have time to waste. I have my kids. I have this, I have that. And they talk themselves out of it, right? So you need to relate back to why they contacted you in the first place. And you need to say, look, Let's go back to that. Let's remind you of that. And oftentimes it clicks and they say, you know what? You're right. I'm going to do this now. Number 3, help me with my goal. You know, this I've only used a couple times. I've heard other coaches say that it works really well. You can say, hey, love, I see you still haven't clicked on the link yet. I know you are super busy. We all are, smiley face. It takes about 3 seconds, and I would love to get you into the group ASAP. I'm also working towards a huge major goal with my team, and you would really help me with that. Let me know. I can see when you read these. LOL. You know, it's a little playful banter. I can see when you read them because it's annoying, but it also lets them know that you're invested in them. And listen, you have a goal to hit too, and a lot of people love to help with that. Getting a referral. All right, love, guessing this just wasn't for you. No biggie. Was wondering, since you were all about it, if you had any friends or family who would be interested. This also takes the pressure off of them. And what's the worst thing that can happen? They say no. Oh, the horror. Everyone needs to get rid of that fear of these messages because there is no fear, right? It's fake. The worst thing that can happen is that person says, no, I don't think I have anyone that's interested. And then you follow up with them a couple months down the line. Number 5, ask for the follow-up. Hey, love, guessing you never found the time to click on this link, and this is just not your month. Totally understandable. I would love to follow up with you next month to see if your funds are in a better order. Stay away from the S-bucks. Wink face. So this just lets them know you're keeping them on a list somewhere. So don't be alarmed when you're going to message them in 2 weeks when your next challenge group is starting up. Okay. The next one, I don't understand social media and I don't want to post on Facebook. I get this one all the time, and I think it is the most ridiculous objection ever, because it is so cool to me that we can run our business from something that used to be a time waster, and I often use that in conversation. So, number 1, relating yourself. I didn't at first either. Where I grew up, Facebook was for posting dumb pictures of cats, stalking your ex-boyfriends, and asking everyone if you saw how skinny Carla from high school got. Haha. But then when I found out I can run an over 6-figure-a-year business from home on Facebook instead of having it be a source of time wasting and gossip, well, I was really pleased. I would much rather change my family's life than mindlessly scroll on some brain-numbing device. This sets off an alarm for people, like, oh my gosh, I have been wasting so much time. I scroll through this at work on my lunch hour when I don't want to do my tasks for the day. And it really just, even if it doesn't get them to sign up, it can help them use their time more effectively in the day. Number 2, the what will my friends think? You know, so many people say, I would love to be a coach. It sounds so cool. I admire you. You're so brave. I could never do what you do. But, you know, what would everyone think? And I, too, thought this in the beginning. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. And it was something that I worried about. And then as time went on and my business started to grow, I thought, how silly that was inhibiting me or holding me back. And I typically say, you know, actually, I was super scared of this at first, too. But then I realized the opinions of my friends, as long as I am not doing anything wrong, means very little. I mean, are their opinions going to further my life, my career, my bank account, get me out of debt? And any of my friends that would talk behind my back about a Facebook post aren't really my friends. And this just, you know, could really help someone in their life too. Maybe they're hanging around a bunch of negative people and they don't have a lot of really great friends. And they need to get out of that because there's a really famous quote, you know, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look at those 5 people. Look at their lives. Is that what you want your life to mirror? Because ultimately, you will never be better than the group of people you spend time with. So you will be exactly what they are. So you could be helping someone with that as well. Number 3, social media is the future. I have built a 6-figure business from Facebook alone on my couch, dining room table, and home office. Enough said. LOL, JK. But if you think about it, our entire society gets their news, articles, product reviews, hotel reviews, car reviews from their choice of social media. You would be silly not to take advantage of that. And this was mentioned on a bombshell call a couple weeks ago. We live in a peer-to-peer marketing world now. We live in a world where no one stays at a hotel that they've never heard of before reading what all the people have wrote about it, right? No one goes to a theme park without reading if the theme park is good or not. So everything lies on peer experiences, on peer reviews, and that's basically what we do. Okay, the grasping at straws excuses. So I need you guys to understand that all of these objections are excuses. All of these objections are an attempt for people to protect themselves, right? So when one objection doesn't work with you, they go for another one. Or when that objection doesn't work, they go for another one, right? So today I had somebody, you know, she didn't have the money, and I gave her what I usually say, and she was like, you know what, you're right, I couldn't afford it. And then a couple hours later, she said she'd have to ask her husband. And I'm like, okay. So I need you guys to understand that, you know, everyone is just trying to protect themselves or not go into the unknown without exploring every option. So it has nothing to do with our opportunity. It has everything to do with where they are in their lives. The number one, I'll have to ask my husband. I usually say, okay, great. Do you know a time when you will talk to him? I remember talking to mine about it, and we agreed on a time limit because it was important to me. But he is super supportive and ultimately wants me to be healthy and happy and work on me. But we said if it didn't work within 3 months, I could cancel free of charge. Let me know if he wants to chat with my hubby. Basically, I let them know, listen, I had the same conversation. My husband was skeptical. This is how I got through it, and these are the agreements that we made. Number two, but I'm an introvert. Okay, awesome. Actually, the majority of top coaches in our company are introverts. 6 of the top 10 coaches are very private, introverted people. That is very little bearing on success. It actually makes you better, more intimate, connecting kind of coach. And we are lucky that all of our interaction is online, very little face-to-face action. Don't hide behind being shy, that's all in your head. So a lot of times people say, oh, I'm shy, I'm an introvert. When they get around people they know, they're this big, boisterous personality, right? I feel great about being an introvert. I'm a big introvert. I might be extroverted online, but in person, I'm an introvert. But right now, I'm giving a team call to 63 people, and I feel totally cool about it, not nervous because I'm sitting alone in my room. I feel great about posting on Facebook because I'm sitting alone in my room. So it actually is an introvert's paradise. We get to be alone while we do work all day. We don't have to go out into the world. And a lot of times that's a misconception. Number 3, I already drink another protein shake. Super common, something I said about my husband. I usually say that would be an objection if Shakeology was a protein shake. Haha, Shakeology is actually a superfood shake designed to give you the best nutrition possible. It has things you could never get at even some of the most advanced health food stores, let alone afford and then figure out how to make. I would also be super careful about what protein shake you are drinking. A lot from GNC, Walmart, Target, etc. have pretty scary bonding agents in it that are known to cause disease. You get what you pay for. I found a bunch of them on Google, and to my surprise, all of them were in the quote-unquote clean protein shake my husband was drinking from GNC. Not to mention, it also does the job of a protein shake, a natural juice, and a multivitamin. So you can basically replace all of those things with peace of mind. I trust this company. I trust the leaders of the company. I trust what they put into the shake. I trust the shake. I know it makes me feel better. Now you have to help other people see that. You know, a lot of people blindly trust these GNC brands and the Walmart brands, and they don't know that they're ingesting a lot of really harmful chemicals. You have to help them see that. You know, it's just like the other day, I constantly always buy the cheaper version of something. It's just something that has been ingrained in me since I'm a child, right? So, and my husband's the complete opposite. He will save and save and save and get the most expensive version of something so that it lasts forever. We're complete opposites on that. But this is how I look at this. I spend so much money buying the cheaper version of things, right? Like shoes that break, or, you know, the flip-flops from Old Navy that are like $5. I used to buy them seriously all the time. But if you add that up, that costs just as much as the nice flip-flops that you get from Nordstrom's that cost $100 because they never break and they last for so much longer. That's just like Shakeology and other protein shakes. You pay more because there's so many ingredients that you cannot get in your daily diet, let alone for that price and the kind of quality that we offer. But you just have to make that clear to people. But I have to pay $15.95 per month. This objection really seriously cracks me up because the $15.95 is such a small nominal fee to pay for all the things that Beachbody does for us behind the scenes. So I typically say this, the $15.95 per month is a blessing. It actually is a business owner's dream. It's for Beachbody to take care of all your back office stuff, shipping and handling, customer service, phone lines, returns, direct deposit, all the stuff you would have to outsource yourself if you were starting this on your own for actually a lot more. A small price to pay for earning potential that there is and all the problems that it handles. What a lot of people don't realize about businesses is when you're a business owner, and some of you are other kind of business owners on this call, you have to spend a lot of money for other people to take care of your payroll, your direct deposit, your allocated funds, shipping and handling, customer service. You have to do that yourself. We are so lucky that we have a company that does that for $15 a month. It is such a small fee to pay to never worry about that kind of stuff. They calculate our checks. They put it in these nice little columns. They put it in our bank account. They do so much for that. We just have to help people see that it is a business that they're signing on to. All of this will also help you with more active coaches. When they put in their mindset, this is a business that I'm signing up for, they will treat it like a business as well. Okay, objections are part of the jobs. And again, they are only limiting beliefs, not rejection. All of the answers in the previous slide, make sure you reinforce them in your posts. So this is really, really key. So everything that you guys post on Facebook, make sure you're answering objections as well. If you guys take a look at my timeline, the past 4 or 5 posts, and I purposefully did this besides the post of my dog Gracie that I just did, they're all answering objections that I've gotten in the past 2 days publicly. They're all giving answers to it. What that does is those people that you're talking to are following you. They're watching, they're reading your stuff, they're waiting to see what you're saying. When you answer their objection publicly and not to them, first of all, it takes some of the pressure off of them. And second of all, they say, oh man, wow, I wonder, that sounds really similar to me. And you know what, she's right. And they start thinking about it. And then it starts to sink in. And after they've seen it a couple times, it starts to sink in more, and then they message you. So make sure you're reinforcing all of that stuff in the previous slide on your Facebook page. Okay, the most common one. I'm waiting until after New Year's. This is like the #1 thing that everyone is getting right now because it's Christmas time. No one wants to think about their bellies and their sit-ups and their clean eating. Everyone wants pies and cakes and turkeys. And so do I. I'm not a superhuman. Here are some of the things that help with that. Did you know that this time of year is the time where most Americans gain all of their weight? Yikes. Wouldn't you like to get a head start on that? I see so many people, it's so sad. They do it to themselves, and it doesn't require a lot of sacrifice. They take this next couple of months off, and then all of a sudden in January, they hate their body, and they hate how they look, and they hate how the Christmas pictures look, and they hate how they felt that day. And it doesn't have to be like that, but we have to help them see that. Number 2, think about how much further you would be than everybody else who started on January 1st, right? You could be at your goal weight by January 1st if you started right now. And that would give you such a head start to summer. Summer bodies are made in the winter. These are all great things to post about right now too, you guys. Number 3, it doesn't mean you can't still indulge. It just means you will feel great even during the holidays. So a lot of people are worried that they're going to have to give up their favorite stuff, right? A lot of people are worried that they can't have a nice Thanksgiving with their family, and they'll be worried, and they won't be able to have a glass of wine or a piece of cake or whatever. Let them know that there are cheats built into our systems. It's not about giving everything up. It's about controlling what you can. Number 4, would you tell a patient to wait till New Year's for a prescription? Let that one sink in. I had a call with Carl for winning a prize a couple months back, and he said that some of the coaches that he had been talking to were talking about, it's the 31st, so they're waiting for people to sign up till the 1st because they want those Success Club points in the next month. And he said something, and I was like, whoa, that's really heavy. He said, if somebody came into my office and I was a doctor and they were dying of diabetes, would I say, I'm going to hold off on giving this to you because next month I have some quotas to fill out my prescription, so we're going to wait till next month? And I was like, damn. So that's kind of how it is when we are giving people these solutions. We are saving lives. We are giving people a solution to high cholesterol, to being overweight, to the #1 killer in America. So think of it that way. Number 5, you will be very sorry you missed out on all of this time. I cannot tell you how many times I think about all the time I went back and forth about deciding to become a coach, and how much I regret that time, and how much I regret going over all of my fears and being, scared about all the things that could happen. Let them know that, listen, you could be so much further if you just started now. There is no downside. Number 6, New Year's is our huge season. You will want to be all trained and ready for that time so you can maximize your new biz. This is very true, you guys. You are in such a great position right now because we are coming up on the busiest season of the year, January, February, March, and April. You want to know the ropes. You want to get trained. You want to be ready. You want to have some consistency on your page. The people who sign up right now, November, December, have the best chance of having the biggest season in January and February. Let people know that you're talking to about coaching, and they say, you know what, I'm going to wait till January, fresh start, new job, New Year's resolutions, all that stuff. Tell them, no, if you want that fresh start, you need to start right now. Okay, maybe you hang back, don't do as much, but you need to get all trained up so that you're ready for the biggest season of the year. Also remind them that only 92% of people keep their New Year's resolutions if they wait till January 1st. How crazy is that? 92% of people have all these grand claims on January 1st that they're going to do for the next year, and the majority of them quit before 21 days. Crazy, right? So that is all I have. I really wanted to give you guys some clear-cut examples, screenshots of exactly the words and things that I say. If you guys have any questions or you have any objections that I didn't cover, things that people have said to you that you're wondering how to answer, let me know. Unmute yourself, talk. There's a bunch of chats, so let me. Hey Bonnie, I've been posting for challenge groups, no bites. I've been posting for free 5-day groups, even boosted a post for one. Again, no interest. Is it possible to build my business if no one is even interested in free groups? Okay, so this is a great question. So Elizabeth, what I would say to you first and foremost is you cannot just post for groups. You have to show people that you are doing this first and foremost. So if you are just all the time posting, hey, join this group, I have a free group, I have a challenge group, I have this group, no one's going to bite. Number one, you have to be posting, I'm in this group, I'm doing this workout, this is how it's changing my life, this is how the shake makes me feel, this is what the results of other people in my challenge group are having, and then post an invite. It's very much jab, jab, right hook. So all of your jabs are, this is me doing my workout, this is me doing my shake, this is how I feel, this is my non-scale victory, this is my friend's non-scale victory. Then boom, your 6th post, join this group. People have followed the progression of it, how it's making you feel in your life, and then they want to join the group. So you have to build up that consistency. Also, messages are where the majority of my people who want to join come from. Yes, I post, join this group. Yes, I post, I have 5 spots or whatever. That's not where the majority of my people come from. The majority of my people come from the messages that I send out behind the scenes while I'm consistently posting what I'm doing and what my team's doing. Does that make sense? There's never no one interested. Just like, that saying that I really love, there is no lack of resources, there's a lack of resourcefulness. I love that saying. But it's just in the way that you're posting, in the way that you're sharing it. If you're constantly just sharing, this, and this, and join this, join that with a little white paper, people are going to be like, well, I don't even know what goes on in there, so why the heck would I join? Yeah, it's just been a stressful year. I'm not feeling exuberantly inspiring. Wow, what a good word. I think I need to work on making sure I'm taking care of myself. Getting there. Thanks. You're sweet for asking. I look forward to seeing all of your awesome posts. What does that even mean? Basically, that's a defense mechanism. I would give her a solution. So if I got that, I would say, oh my gosh, what happened in your year? What are you stressed about? How are you taking care of yourself? I used to feel the same way. I used to feel like I could never catch up with my health or never catch up with my goals. But you have to make an effort to give to yourself in order to do that. That's how you take care of yourself. So she's actually pushing it away, which is not taking care of herself. But if she works on her health and herself first, then she will be taking care of herself. So you have to show her that it actually is the solution. It's not taking away from that. I have people who are ordering and then they contact me and want to cancel their Shakeology after they receive it. How can I avoid this? So, sometimes this is an inevitability, right? So some people are going to want to cancel. Some people aren't going to see the value. I would tell them, first of all, to wait until 15 days after they've been drinking it and see some changes in their body. because a lot of people do it before they even know if they like it or not. They've already made up their decision. They hear the word auto ship and they run for the hills, right? But after 15 days of me using it, I could see that it was an invaluable asset to myself, right? It was invaluable for me to keep it. Remind them that it's free shipping on auto ship, that as a coach, they get $30 off of it and they can save X amount of dollars. I posted a great graphic about that. But you're always going to have people who have to cancel it right away. That's just how it is. Liz, you said that you have been sharing your journey and just started posting about groups. Have you been adding 3 to 5 new friends per day and messaging them when you add them, or commenting and liking their stuff? Have you been going into groups that you have similar interest in and starting conversations and building relationships? Yes, I'll be posting the slides into the Shine Dynasty. How do you respond to people who are super interested? Yes, this is exactly what I need in the challenge packs. I'm a new coach and trying to help grow my customer base so I can convert them to coaches. So what do you mean? They say, yes, this is exactly what I need. That's not a problem. I'm just joking. And then they never purchase. So stay on them, follow up. Use some of the things in the slide that was about when people don't answer you, or when people say they're excited and then they ghost. Use some of those suggestions. They're often just putting it off because they have some type of excuse in the back of their mind. But you have to keep following up. So never just go away from them. That doesn't help the situation. So in the beginning, when people would say that, I would just kind of like go away and say, oh, well, I guess they, don't want to talk to me anymore. But they're waiting for you to take the next step. You're the one who has to be brave enough to say, okay, great, let's get you started. When they ignore you, you use one of those 5 things that I showed on that slide number 5. Does anybody else have anything? You guys can unmute. What is the best way to keep from being repetitive with your posts when it comes to promoting the product? I feel like I lost a lot of my posts about Beachbody related. I don't want to be a billboard either. So let me clarify this, you guys. When I say being a billboard, I mean using stock Beachbody photos, using pictures of Autumn, using pictures of other people with the shake, using pictures of like random people in a field doing a yoga pose. You posting about Beachbody all the time is not being a billboard. You posting, hey, this is on sale, come buy my shake, is being a billboard. If you go to my page, every single post on my page is about Beachbody, but I am not a billboard because all of my pictures are mine, all of my words are mine, they're all my experiences. So that's what I mean. When I say that, you should be posting about Beachbody all the time, but they should be your experiences, your life, your challenges, your failures, your successes, things that, it's added value to your life, your objections that you're getting, the things that you were scared about. All of those posts should be about Beachbody, but they should have your face in it and your personality, and they should never be, hey, this is 140 this month. That's what I mean by being a billboard. And you know what? A lot of, random person in the field doing yoga. I see a lot of those like stock photographs that are like some rando with dark hair and it's a blonde girl. And I'm like, what does that mean? So being repetitive, you guys, that's all in your head. There are some people who've been following you for a while that maybe might think that, you might think that, but if you're consistently adding 3 to 5 people per day to your Facebook and your network, you have to be repetitive in order for your business to keep going. You have to keep reminding people that you have something to join. You have to keep reminding them that you're a coach. Or else you may feel like, oh, I just posted a coaching post yesterday, but then you added 10 people and they didn't see that post. Or you didn't comment on your friend's pictures, so your post didn't get shown in their timeline. Every one of your friends isn't seeing all your stuff all the time. Every one of your 10,000 followers isn't seeing every graphic that you post. So you have to keep doing that. But you're not being repetitive. It's most likely just in your head. Unless every day you're posting, I love Shakeology, I love Shakeology, I love Shakeology. I message people and they don't respond. Is there a way to keep your messages from going in their others box that they don't see? This is tricky. You can pay like $1 to have them go to their regular inbox, but I would just recommend friending them first and then sending them a message, because now on Facebook, once you're friends, it gives you a little box that says you have a message request, so it'll actually pop up as a message. Okay, so I find sometimes I have writer's block when I go to post. I think too hard about what I post and then I draw a blank. Yes. So there's tons of ways to combat this. I have writer's block every single day of my life. I have no idea where all of the stuff that I post comes from. I don't make a plan. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I have no idea what to say. Personal development helps me every single day. All that smart stuff that you guys see me posting, that didn't come from in here. It comes from the stuff that I read. So I get a lot of ideas from personal development. I get a lot of ideas from Pinterest. I get a lot of ideas from some of other coaches that I see posting. Basically, I like to think about it as I run my personal page like a sneak peek. So say I'm sitting there sending messages back or doing follow-ups. I'm like, well, this is boring. I'm just sitting at my desk. I do a post about how that's a part of the business. So kind of like run your page like a reality show. Like, and I know everyone's going to say, well, my life's boring, or I'm not that interesting, or I felt like that in the beginning too, right? Like I sit around all day in my yoga pants, like what is interesting about that? But you have to get rid of that mentality because it's false. Everyone's life is like that, and that's what makes it interesting. Everyone wants to see people who are like them being successful. So everyone wants to see themselves in you. Everyone wants to see, oh, her life's just as boring as me, and she's a successful coach, so I could do that too. Not saying that your life is boring, man. That's not what I'm saying. I have about 6 people right now who said yes. I send them links and then they don't order, and I can't get them to respond anymore. Yeah, Nancy, it happens. It's happening to me right now. There's like 12 links sent out. It's a thing. So right now you need to go back to that slide that was all about what to do when people don't answer. There were 5 suggestions on there. And then what you need to do is never count on those people that don't answer. So a lot of times people get into trouble because they say, well, I have 7 people who said they're going to order, but they ghosted on me and they haven't said anything. So, but they're going to order, so I'll be at Success Club 14. And then people wait. Never make that mistake. Always reach out to more people. Always keep going. And then those other people will come back to you after you send those follow-up messages. Would you keep trying to reach out to people that you've added, messaged once, and they did not respond? Yes. That's something that I pride myself in. I believe that this is a gift to give to people. It's changed my entire life, and I don't think that anyone is incapable of having the same success. So I never don't message people. I know that it's just a roadblock in their mind, and I know that everyone can be successful at this. So I'm doing them a disservice if I don't message them again. I know that it's for everyone ultimately, and I never take it upon myself to say, well, I'm not going to message them and bother them again and be a nuisance or a bother to them. I always message again. So exactly like that one slide that I showed before, I would say something like, hey, I see that you've seen my message but haven't responded. I think that you're totally someone I'd love to have on my team. I just saw that you got a new dog. What breed is that? Mine's a Rhodesian Ridgeback. So cool. Would love to have you on my news feed. Something like that. So I connect with them. I message them again. I showcase the fact that I know that they've seen my message and haven't answered. I give them a little compliment, and we move forward from there. I don't know if I have a limit. Unless someone's like, oh my gosh, you're terrible, get away from me, please stop messaging me, or someone blocks me, which has happened. And then someone has unblocked me and then signed up without me knowing. So you guys never know what's going on in someone's life. I don't really think I have a limit. I think that I might change the message up a couple times, Or if I'm super busy and there's other people who are ready to commit, maybe I would drop that message and go back to it when it's like a slower time. Not to overwhelm myself. I don't follow up with those people every single day. But if I have a time where, not a lot of people are messaging me, then I'll go back to those follow-ups and follow up again. There have been people who haven't answered me for 6+ months, and then all of a sudden I followed up and they were like, you know what, I'm ready. So never count someone out. For the 70 millionth time, yes, I will put the slides up in the team page as soon as we are done the call. I promise. Do I cold invite to the coaching opportunity? Yes, I do. When I see somebody who would be freaking phenomenal on our team, of course I say that. Or if we've been talking and we have said nothing about coaching, I'll be like, you know what? I have to say this. I think that you'd be a great coach, just saying. And that's why it's so important to have consistency on your wall, because cold inviting is so much easier. As soon as you cold invite, people go, whoa, what the heck is she talking about? And then they click on your profile and go immediately to your wall and see what you're all about. And that's where people run into trouble, because if you don't have anything on your wall about coaching or what you do, or that other people do it and you're successful, or you're going to be successful, then that's where cold invites kind of fall flat.
I have to say something about that. I had a Beachbody coach contact me at the same time Bonnie was, and they were both writing to me. And honestly, the reason I went with Bonnie was because her page was Beachbody, 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 but it wasn't like annoying posts. It was like uplifting, and I was in a really bad spot at that point. And then my husband saw like that she was on my page, and he was like, I really like this body girl, you should read more of her posts. And it really irritated me at first. And then
I love you too, Kayla.
Well, I was really negative, okay? You were very positive. So the positive and the negative going together is really hard sometimes. So I took his advice and I was like, okay, you're right. Like, let me actually look at this. And I was talking about coaching, and that other girl kept messaging me. She had absolutely nothing about Beachbody. Nothing. So I was like, well, why am I going to go with her? And then Bonnie is just like Beachbody, and that's why I ended up, signing up with Bonnie. Like, it's really very, very important that you talk about it every single day, every single day.
Yeah, and that's such a good example, Kayla, because Kayla's one of our top coaches on our team, and Kayla and I talked for a very long time. She ignored me for a very long time, and a lot of people are afraid to post consistently about coaching. Like, that's the number one thing I hear in the team page. Like, I don't know how to post about coaching, or what would I say, or I'm being repetitive, or I don't want to be annoying, or whatever it is. But that makes messaging and inviting so much easier. It does the work for you. It's just like, just like Kayla said, if there's two people inviting and one person doesn't say anything about coaching and one says everything, they're going to go with that other person. Yay! Oh my gosh, don't tell those people that. Does anybody else have any other questions? All right, well, if no one has anything else, I will post the slides as soon as we get off the call, and I will post the recording underneath the graphic for the call and in the file.
All right, we're done with that. Did you guys get some good ideas from that? Tips, advice, suggestions? Now you know what you need to do. Now you gotta go do it. I loved it. Lots of great takeaways, even for me. And this wasn't the first time I watched the videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed the call, took lots of notes, and are ready to kick some butt today and tomorrow. Close out the month in Success Club. No excuses. Get it. I'm sitting at SC7, and no matter what, somewhere, some way, I'm making it to Success Club 10 or higher tomorrow. That is my promise to myself and to my business and to you guys. So hold me accountable. It's going to happen. And I hope you guys take it as seriously as I do, because you can do it. Like, there's no reason why you can't, and there's no reason why you shouldn't. We're all about helping people and paying it forward with this amazing opportunity, amazing journey that we can provide other people in lifestyle change. So I think we need to go share the crap out of it. And now that we have all these awesome objection tools we learned from Bonnie, that will make it a lot easier to go do it and be bold and just get it done. So unless you guys have any questions, we're going to wrap it up because it's getting late. And thank you guys for being on. I'm going to stop the recording and share it